Yo, what's up, guys? This is Ozerec. That's my PlayStation ID. And today, we're talking about rushing versus camping. This is part 9 of 9 of classes in session. If you haven't already seen the other videos, please do so. Links are going to be down in the description. Before I talk about the topic, I kind of want you guys to understand, I know it's a touchy subject. People love to get worked up about this. And they get emotional. I don't know if it's because they try to defend the way that they play or not, but I don't really know. I kind of want you guys to listen to this commentary objectively and think outside the box. I'm going to go kind of fast with this since there's a lot to say in the time frame. But here we go. First, we're going to start with the definition of rushing and camping. Everyone's is different, so we'll try to put it in some universal words. Rushing, rushing is basically going to the enemy, and camping is letting the enemy come to you. You can pretty much ignore the idea that rushing is just running blindly to the enemy spawn, and you can ignore the idea that camping is sitting back in your spawn in a corner somewhere aiming at a door. Forget that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about aggressive versus defensive play. And when you're rushing, I'm going to break this down for you. When you're rushing, you're basically entering a new area, moving from cover to cover. And if you're the first person that's in that rush, you're not going to know exactly which area is clear. So you're scanning every bit of the screen in case somebody's lurking, hiding in a corner and whatnot. The advantage is sometimes you hit enemies from the flanks when they're not expecting it. And the reason behind rushing is to pressure the enemy and surprise them with an attack that they are not prepared for. Of course, there's always a disadvantage with an advantage, right? So the problem with rushing is it's very easy for you to get caught off guard by somebody waiting on you. Or even worse, multiple enemies following each other around like little butt buddies with their split screen. And then you also have the fact that if you move in too far, the spawns are going to flip behind your team, and that grants the enemy access not only to the objectives that you've already secured, but it's going to allow a spawn flip flank where they can flank your team because they are now surprised not knowing where the hell the enemies are. So if you've ever been, right up to the point outside of an enemy's territory and you get killed from the back by somebody with Ghost, yeah, you can thank your homeboy that's in the spawn with his 74U trying to get 1 or 2 kills. The same goes for camping, which is also good and bad. Usually when you're camping, you're going to stick to an isolated place in the map, like I'm doing in this video here, holding down the left side of Nuketown, and you just hold this area down because you've now sectioned off that side of the map. You're now going to know that the enemy is coming from 1 or 2 directions. So obviously you know where exactly to look. That's your advantage. You're not just creating a hard target for your opponent with the environment, but what it's doing is it's making it easier for yourself to predict where the enemy is going to come from. And this is going to lessen your chance of being caught off guard. And that alone, guys, is a huge advantage. If you get caught off guard a lot, camping is the solution. Now, here's the problem with camping, though. There's that word again. Once you've been discovered, either through kill cam or enemy's UAV or shooting your gun off unsuppressed, the other team is now going to know where you're at. Red, shoot your gun, red dot, boom, you're exposed. So all of the advantage of you knowing the direction that they're going to come from is now neutralized because every spot in this game has a counter spot. And you never know what counter spot he's going to hit you from. And you're kind of neutralizing yourself there. So good campers will know how and when to move to avoid giving up their exact position. And good rushers will know how to evaluate the enemy and move up through alternate, unexpected routes to get that surprise attack. And real quick here, I'm going to touch on this gameplay. You see me getting some kill streaks going here. The whole point of this video is to showcase the power of kill streaks. I had this is a 73-6 gameplay. Yeah, 50 of these kills with my choppers. You can't tell me this shit is not affected. I don't know. I don't want to hear it, guys. Here's the question that everybody wants to know, though. I'm gonna get back on topic. Which is better? You know, hey Oz. You know, I noticed you play defensively a lot in your videos. Is this the best way to play? You know, should I sit back in my spawn and camp? Well, here's what I see. Most players stick to one style usually, whether it's rushing nonstop or camping too hard. And if you honestly want to take your game to the next level, you need to learn how to mix the two styles together. You know, it's always good to be careful and to camp every now and then, but there's also a thing as being too cautious. There's a time to camp, and there's definitely a time to be aggressive. Everyone likes rules, and I want to give you guys a rule here to follow for objective games. When you are losing, you rush, and you camp when you're winning. Alright? Domination, for example, like you see here. You rush up to capture the B flag, eliminate the enemy, and when you have 2 flags, you camp. If you have 1 flag and they have 2 flags, then you and your team need to be extremely effective at rushing. You need to be able to go in there, eliminate the enemy, clear that shit out, and then take that objective and then camp it out to defend. And that's what it's about. That's how you combine these strategies together. For TDM, it's the opposite. You camp when you're losing, because obviously it's easier to get kills, so you need to catch back up to win. And it's better to be aggressive when you're winning. That way you can get more kills and higher score. As you see me getting the chopper gunner here, already got 30 kills off that gunship. There's an old Bruce Lee quote that can be applied to Call of Duty. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. I'm not going to read it. It's going to take too long. But he basically says this, and you're probably sitting there and thinking, all right, ooh, you know, what the hell does this mean in normal English, please? And for Call of Duty. Well, what this quote means that you see on your screen is that you have rushing and you have camping. Both are opposites. You have to combine these two concepts together, because if you play to one extreme, like rushing, you're what he calls unscientific. And what I would call an off-the-cuff player, you're basically relying too much on reaction, and you can't duplicate those results, so it's based a lot off of luck. Now, if you have the other extreme, camping too much, you become mechanical, and you're easy to predict, and you might as well be one of the little combat training bots in this game. But with that being said, don't get me wrong here. I want this to be 100% clear. One of the tactics is overall a lot better than the other. And when it comes to strategy, you should always keep in mind that defense is what wins games. And that's, guys, that's universal through any competitive environment, whether it's video games or sports and whatnot. Camping, bar none, is the most effective tactic in Call of Duty. 2 reasons. Number 1 is the simple fact that the game's all about kills. You can't win without killing, and it's a lot easier to kill someone if they come towards you than it is to rush in and kill them. Alright? So, number 2 is that the game is all about kill streaks, and that's why I've picked out this game. You saw it, 50 kills with the chopper gunner. How can you argue that? You know, it's devastating. Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, that's all it's about. But this video here is over. Just to put a little clip at the end here. The other thing I want you guys to remember is that one of the things I said in a previous video is that if something's not working, change it. If a tactic that you're using is not working in the game, change it. If you can't aggressively camp and move up and lock in a spawn trap, or you know, you can't rush these guys because you keep getting killed, well, it's probably because you're getting rushed harder by the other team, and you have, at that point, you have to move back and play a little more passively. And if you can't do that either, well then shit, it's time to put your lightweight on, go into attack mode, and push the other team back. You know, be universally strong, guys. Don't just limit yourself. But that's part 9. I hope this video was helpful and shed some light for you guys. This is Oz signing out. Peace.